International theories and methods of coal petrography in coal blending. Coal petrology is the most fundamental theory for producing coking coal in all developed countries outside of China. Coal petrology treats coal as a type of rock and studies the composition and technological properties of its various components, including vitrinite, inertinite, fusinite, and so on. It is a science that determines the technological properties of coal. By using coal petrographic analysis for coal blending, these Western countries have achieved tremendous success. There are various accounts regarding the invention and the development of coal petrology. But generally speaking, Germany, the United Kingdom, the United States, and the Soviet Union all made great contributions. However, based on the materials I have accessed, the Soviet Union made significant contributions to the study of coal petrology. The coal petrology textbook I used in college, its main data and information were all from the Soviet Union. I was especially fortunate to have a professor named Wan Shilu, who had returned from the Soviet Union. He had been a professor at a Soviet university, specializing in the subject of coal petrology. Although he taught us paleontology, he would often talk about coal petrology whenever he lectured on paleontology. So later, when we were studying coal petrology, I would often ask him questions. And every time he would talk about how they conducted coal petrology experiments in the Soviet Union and how deeply they went, I was particularly moved at that time. The most successful country in promoting and using coal petrology is Japan. Japan was the first to use computers on a large scale, which greatly simplified the complex experimental process of coal petrology. This allowed them to quickly perform analysis of coal components, and their component analysis was very detailed and precise. When I visited Japan, whether it was Nippon Steel, Mitsubishi Chemical, or Sumitomo Metal, when I visited their factories and had discussions with them, I would see that they had a very large, extensive lookup table. In this table, they had separated out every component for each coal rank and conducted research and experiments on their technological properties, which they then put into this reference table. This was very surprising to me. I thus realized that coal petrographic components could be very quantitatively used to predict coke strength and optimize coke costs. Later, I took these research and observation materials and experiences and published a book called Introduction and Analysis of Shaanxi Coal Resources for Export. In it, I clearly described Japan's and some other countries' quantitative methods for using coal petrology to predict coke properties. All of this is explicitly stated in the book. China is now also widely using coal petrographic analysis and continuously giving it more importance. However, there is still a very big gap between China's understanding and application of coal petrology and the true understanding and application of the science. There is still a very big gap. We have not systematically performed a detailed analysis and record of the technological properties of each component for each coal rank. Therefore, it is impossible for us to truly use coal petrology for coke analysis. The way we use coal petrology today is only to analyze the reflectance distribution of coal material to determine if it is a single coal type. From the beginning of coal petrology's invention to its development and use, it seems no coal petrology expert has ever regarded this as the main tool of coal petrology. But today, we regard it as arguably the only tool. Additionally, we also use it to determine, based on the reflectance distribution, the content of various coal types, which is even less scientific and rigorous. Later, we will talk about the relationship between the reflectance range and coal types. As reflected in coal petrology, they are not the same thing. China's coking industry is already far ahead of the world in terms of technology, equipment, and scale. It has the most advanced processes and the most advanced equipment, and our automation level is first class. However, we still have a huge gap in fundamental theoretical research, especially in the research and application of coal petrology theory. We still have a huge gap.